booty meat from the back. And on top of that, he low-key adorable. Plus, each pet has their in 2023 to receive an epic reward. Plus, you'll be helping out the channel. It's your boy Goku. And this song goes out to all my Chi-Chis. And I want y'all to get on the Nimbus and just throw that ass back. Like, ha, here, yeah, yeah. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. I was surprised when Chi-Chi threw it back. I was like, damn, look at that ass clap. I said, go ahead, make that ass pop. You finna catch this Kamehameha. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. That booty made me turn Super Saiyan 5. Chi-Chi threw it back and made my power level rise. I heard Frieza came back and he turned to fight. I would save the world, but I'm preoccupied. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Thanks for watching, hit the like, dog. Thanks for watching, hit the like, dog. Like, dog. Stop playing, hit the like, dog. Look at the merch. Oh my God. Look at the merch. Ooh-wee. Look at the merch. Oh my God. Look at the merch. Merch. Chapter number 51 special then comes to a close. Now, before we dive any further into answering some of the questions that many of you guys probably already
You can make no mistake about the fact that not only has Mastered Ultra Ego proven to be a power that is even far too overwhelming for both Frieza and Cooler to handle together, but the sheer power that is being exerted from such a form is nothing short of phenomenal. But with Cooler and Frieza's backs against the wall with no other way out than having to go through the Prince of Destruction, if he isn't careful, then what comes next might change the entirety of everything as we know it.
As our story now continues, following the events of Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta being shown battling off against both Platinum Cooler and Black Frieza, to which during the midst of their battle, as Vegeta was now shown having to smile, where Vegeta from that point then went on to respond, "While the two of you continue to downplay and undermine my elevation as being the dominant warrior between us, I only continue to grow stronger while the two of you remain the same. Is this all that the almighty Frieza and Cooler can offer in this battle?" Vegeta questions. And here I expected more from the self-proclaimed tyrants of the universe. Vegeta continues. "Even your combined efforts to stop me are futile against my superior strength. You honestly thought that by teaming up against me would it give you the advantage over me? How amusing. I can feel your desperation beginning to sink in," Vegeta continues. "No matter what the both of you try and do, you will never be able to destroy what I've become. And once I've had my fun, I will then destroy you both and make sure to not leave a trace remaining." But then, it would only now appear as though both Frieza and Cooler have seemingly had enough of Vegeta's antics, as Black Frieza then went on to shout, "Bro, enough Enough of this, you psychotic Saiyan! We will not stand to have you make a mockery of our efforts and power, with Cooler chiming in, which is exactly why you must be eliminated at all costs. Is that so, Vegeta questions? And what are the two of you going to possibly try and do that will allow for you both to try and gain any sort of advantage against me? There is nothing that either of you can do to try and destroy what I am now, and you both know it. Which is why we will both hit you with everything we have if it means watching you finally be destroyed, Saiyan. And I mean everything, Platinum Cooler went on to continue. So does this look a little familiar to you? Use everything you have, Frieza. The only way that we can ensure that this monkey is dead is if we blast him by using everything at once. So hold nothing back here or else our efforts will backfire, with Frieza chiming in. Did I not just say for you not to get so far ahead of yourself when you did, monkey? You may have discovered and tapped into some new destructive level of power, Vegeta, but it won't be enough to save you from the combined might of what me and my brother are going to hit you with. And so this Cerulean's attack better work, Black Frieza went on to continue. So now use that God Monkey's final flash to its highest possible caliber, and let's blast this destroyer monkey right off his planet. So they're going to try and do what? Vegeta went on to respond. Oh, so that's their plan. They're going to try and combine what they've been given via those serums in order to rid me by using the attacks of others. Of course they would. They know that since they can't match me in hand-to-hand combat, that they're going to try and resort to any other means as a way to claim victory. For all those gutless cowards, they'll try and stop at nothing to win. To which moments later, as we then see how both Platinum Cooler and Black Frieza were now shown combining their attacks and firing it off directly at Vegeta, it was just upon with the two now being shown having to do so, where Platinum Cooler then went on to shout, "And don't dream of coming back to ever challenge us again. Yes, now die like your ancestors, Vegeta." Oh, there's just no way, Gohan went on to shout. "Hurry and hang on, Piccolo!" Oh, damn those two! Quickly, Gohan, let's get the hell out of the area so that we may create a plan, Piccolo shouts. But even then, despite the gigantic attack that was now shown making its way towards Vegeta, by no means was Vegeta seemingly concerned whatsoever by this attack, as Vegeta from that point then went on to power up by responding, "Well, at least you both have decided to actually try and end my life, but even with your combined attacks, which you have stolen, will stand no chance against the radiant energy of my destructive power, you little cowards. As if using one of my own attacks will help you in any kind of way on top of it. It was like I just said," Vegeta went on to power up by smirking. "All of this, all of your efforts of trying to destroy me are only making me stronger. The longer this goes, the more I thrive. And I haven't used this little move in a very long time, so prepare to be incinerated. As if I would ever allow myself to be obliterated by my own attack. Oh, how wrong you both were to assume that we'd remain the same as you remembered us being, Frieza. Your death, along with your cowardly brothers, will be on your conscience. The two of you could never possibly understand, especially you, Frieza. Now watch and I'll show you. And if you end up dying in the process, then you were never good enough to hold out against me anyways. Now watch this." In which, from out of nowhere, the moment Vegeta was from there shown having to unleash his destructive Gamma Burst Flash, not only was Vegeta's attack now shown having to completely overwhelm both Cooler and Frieza's attack, but there was seemingly nothing that either Frieza or Cooler could do to prevent this attack from destroying them, as Black Frieza then went on to ask, what in the hell is this thing? It's tearing into our combined attack. attacks. I'll keep pushing, Cooler, no matter how strong it is. That's what I'm trying to do, Cooler went on to quickly respond. We're losing ground here. His attacks are driving us back. What an incredible display of energy, Piccolo went on to chime in from the sidelines. Vegeta's Gamma Burst combined with the power of destruction has created a way for Vegeta's attack to shred right through Frieza and Cooler's combined attacks. Like it's almost being erased, with Cooler then quickly having to ask, what is this? His attack is tearing its way right towards us. Oh, we can't hold out like this much longer. It's going to smash its way right into us. Oh, we need to relinquish our hold and reform, with Black Frieza responding, no, damn it! There must be a way that we can tire him out and resist. We should be much stronger than he is, so why are we to flee? Continue to push and so that we may reverse his attack and use it against him, as I will not have this be what slows us down, Cooler. Are you insane? Then we'll both be risking our lives if we don't reform our strategy, Cooler went on to then respond. Let's mitigate the risk by using our supernovas to wipe out this entire solar system. He can't possibly be that strong to handle two of those at the same time. Also, what do we do now then, Piccolo, Gohan went on to ask. We can't be so certain that this will destroy them, so we've got to try and be on standby in case something were to call for us to step in. So what's your call here, with Piccolo responding, oh darn it, you might be right. Listen, split the senzu bean with me and wait on my signal here, Piccolo continues. If all else, in case anything were to happen to Vegeta, then at least we'll be there to aid him in case something happens, so hurry. Oh, the force of this attack of his won't allow for my barrier to hold for much longer, Cooler went on to then continue, so we'll need to cancel his attack out immediately before responding. We'll need to use our novas against them at full power and nothing less, you hear me? Oh, like hell we are, Frieza went on to then quickly respond. I'll send this back to him at any cost so that he may die by the hands of his own attack. So now keep pushing and don't cancel the barrier out. Oh, listen to me, Cooler went on to then shout. Now is not the time for you to fight from a position of ignorance and pride, Frieza. We'll use the barrier and smash right back into him with our planet destroyers, with Frieza agreeing by responding, oh, fine, then hurry. It's amusing to see you both struggle while also fighting for your lives, Vegeta went on to then quickly chime in. Can you stop it? Can you prevent yourselves from being destroyed? It hurts knowing the truth of what you've always feared would happen, isn't that right, Frieza? How ironic is it that you once ruled with absolute fear only to now be shown cowering in terror before my power? I am going to take my time with you so that you may feel exactly what we felt so many years ago, you coward. To which seconds later, as a gigantic explosion was now seen taking place in the distance, that was when Vegeta went on to then continue. How does it feel, Frieza? How does it feel knowing that no matter what it is that you try and do, that you will never win? I've shattered through your illusions of invincibility only to show you both how vulnerable you truly are. So now what are the two of you going to do? You are left with nothing to show for your efforts of stopping me, and you know it. You have no idea of the amount of torture that I had to put myself through in order to become the man that I am at this very moment in time, you tyrant. And here you thought that by recruiting your long-lost brother would that only further your plans of destroying us. Is that it? Yes. Well, think again, because whether it's you or your brother, nothing will stop me from sinking my teeth into your throats. But then, it was only from behind the smoke, with two gigantic energy spheres now being shown hovering above the ground, where Cooler went on to respond, except you only went and made one very crucial mistake along the way, you barbarian. And that is that we made sure to prepare for almost any and all scenarios that may plague us both before coming here, Frieza went on to respond, even if it meant giving up a part of who we are in our lives lives in order for us to make sure that we wouldn't be broken, Vegeta. What? It can't be. Those bastards found a way to nullify my attack at the expense of sacrificing something as a means to cancel it out, didn't they? They must have. It's the only possible explanation. You can thank both Moro and Broly for their combined barrier attributes that allowed for me to hold out against your destructive attack, Vegeta. Although it may have taken a bit of energy out of me, Cooler continues, I'll have no doubt that I'll be able to get it all back once I drain you of every drop of power that your pathetic body has. You may be stronger than me right now, but with the ability for me to adapt just like a Saiyan, it'll only be a matter of time before I surpass you, Saiyan. So, think you can stop these? With Black Frieza chiming in, that's right, Destroyer Monkey. Do you think that you can hold out and stop these? What a fine ending to your life, along with every life on this planet, just as it was on your dirty homeworld planet Vegeta, am I right? And you should already remember that we can survive in space, Frieza continues. So even if this planet were to be destroyed along with you in the process, my brother and I will find a way. Yes, and there can only be room for one, Cooler continues, and that very space that me and my brother occupy has no extra space for the likes of you. Aw, what's wrong? Frieza went on to ask. Poor old God Monkey is scared of losing his family? As you should, Vegeta, because this attack isn't only meant for you and you only, oh no. Far from it, in fact. Tell him, Frieza, with Frieza responding, yes, that's right, Destroyer Monkey. This here is meant to be our parting gift to your beloved planet Earth, which means that you, your friends, your family, your allies, your children, everything you know and hold dear to your heart will be destroyed, and there is nothing that you can do that will change that. Well, just as it was when I slaughtered your pathetic people. Yes, it's time, so let's crush him for good, Frieza! Now disappear forever, just like the rest of your people, Cooler went on to shout. Yes, to the end of your miserable little world, along with the end of your life, once and for all, Saiyan! To which even then, despite both supernovas being shown making their way down towards Vegeta, that was when Vegeta had gone as far as to stick his arms out by shouting, as if I would actually stand around and allow for the two of you to do it. Well, go on then and watch as I tear right through you. Oh, we can't let this happen. It's now or never, Piccolo, Gohan went on to quickly cut in. They'd be too busy to see us coming from behind, so we've got to jump in and help Vegeta, otherwise they'll find some kind of a way to either wear him down or just simply destroy him. This is our only window of opportunity, with Piccolo responding, oh, well, Vegeta can scream at us later once we're done helping him. So let's move in quickly and quietly so that way they don't see us coming, with Vegeta cutting in. This is nothing but a temporary obstacle. Do you hear me, you clowns? I've chosen to walk down the path of a destroyer for a reason, and that is to become the strongest that I could ever be, Vegeta continues. No fear, no emotions, no pain, only destruction. And that is all I see when I look at this, when I look at you. Girl, why isn't our attack budging? Frieza went on to quickly ask. He's holding it back and preventing the attack from colliding. But that's not possible. We need more power, Cooler. Oh, damn this Saiyan. Just what is he? Why is he this difficult to destroy? Oh, we need to hit him with more, Frieza. You could never destroy the Prince of Destruction, Vegeta then went on to shout. I am the strongest Saiyan to ever live. Oh, words cannot describe the hatred that I have for you, Vegeta. Your defiance only fuels my rage that much more. Now again, Cooler. More power until he is crushed beneath the weight of his own failure. Even if we have to launch hundreds of them into that monkey, then we'll do it. So let's hurry. I don't care how strong this primate thinks he is. There's no way that he'll be able to hold out much longer. He's the most troublesome of the bunch, so let's end him already before he tries something against us again. Either his body will break or his spirit will, so let's hurry. Oh, listen to me. If by some chance he is able to hold this back, Frieza went on to continue, then create another supernova and launch it down directly under his feet so that the planet explodes along with him in it. Oh, just remember the plan in case this doesn't work. You know what we have to do, Cooler responds. Oh, that's only if we need it, so now launch the damn novas into him now! To which upon Cooler and Frieza now being shown launching an additional 2 supernovas right into the one that they initially launched towards Vegeta, that was when Piccolo went on to shout, "Gohan, hurry, there's our window!" But even then, Vegeta was still resisting, as Frieza was dumbfounded by the fact that Vegeta was still holding his own, with Frieza responding, What? It's not moving. He's still holding the novas in place, but that's just impossible. No, damn it, no! Yes, now what was that supposed to be? Is that it? Vegeta went on to question. This struggle only sharpens my focus for once I break through your attempts of destroying me, and when I do, I am going to shred you, Vegeta went on to continue. There is nothing that either of you can do that will work. Wait, that energy, Vegeta went on to question, is that... Oh, God, no. But why? Do not intervene, Vegeta shouts. But then, it was only just now from behind Cooler and Frieza where multiple energy blasts were now shown raining down upon them as Orange Piccolo went on to shout, "Now, Gohan, now keep firing and don't stop! Hang on, Vegeta, we're right there with you," Beast Gohan shouts. "We aren't going to let you do this alone out there," with Frieza quickly responding, "Oh, it's the Namekian and the other Saiyan. Curse those little worms, they waited to corner us. Oh, damn it, then you know what we have to do," Cooler went on to then address Frieza by telling him, "The entire situation is extreme and the only way out of this is if we run with our final plan. It's that or death. We have no other choice, and so we have to use it if it means ensuring our survival, Frieza. I'd rather die 1,000 times over before I'd ever have either of you help me," Vegeta then went on to continue to shout. "I don't need your help, and so now stay out of my way. These two are mine, do you hear me? Mine and mine alone, so now get out of the way right now. And as for the two of you, this is where it all comes to an end. That can't be. He's lifting them above his head. He's pushing our attacks right back," Frieza says, with Cooler responding, "Oh, Frieza, listen carefully. Whatever it was that Vegeta did to reach this level is further proof that our individual powers are no match for him like this. We have no choice but to combine our strength if we want to crush them all for good. This is not a matter of choice anymore, Frieza. It's a matter of necessity. We must fuse to have any hopes of destroying them once and for all the way it should be." "Oh, but it's way too soon to use the Potaras," Frieza went on to respond. "They were never intended to be used on just one person. They were meant to be used against either their fusion or against Lord Beerus. Oh, curse them all. Listen, if we hope to maximize our combined power, then we must maintain perfect synchronization and control. Any deviation could result in our untimely defusion," Frieza went on to continue. "In our merged state, we must transcend our individual limitations and push beyond the boundaries of what we thought were possible, understand? Oh, our fusion is a gateway to unparalleled strength," Cooler continues. "So we must tap into our combined potential and push beyond our limits to far eclipse the Saiyan once we do. So we have to use them now or we'll die. And to destroy Vegeta along with those other runts at once, we must harness the raw energy that is coursing through our bodies and transcend to unprecedented levels of power. Oh, curse that Vegeta. I hate that Saiyan with every ounce of my very being," Frieza went on to then chime back in. "I can't believe that we have to resort to using these so soon. Fine, then we'll immobilize his dogs first and then we'll go right back to Vegeta directly. We don't have enough another pair, so we must not lose these. To which upon Cooler now being shown placing one of the earrings on his ear, we were indeed now gearing up and getting ready to see their fusion actually happen, as Cooler went on to continue, remember to show no mercy on that worm, so let this be our ultimate rebirth as the strongest entity in the universe. Now hurry, our supernovas are about to collide into us. In which upon the very moment right before the supernova was then shown slamming right into them, that was when Piccolo went on to chime in, "Hey, what's going on down there? I can't see a thing. Where's that light coming from? Oh no, Gohan, quickly brace yourself. Their attacks are about to crash right into them." To which moments later, as a gigantic explosion was now seen taking place, that was when Beast Gohan then went on to chime back in by responding, "Goes, what power? But it looks like we got them. They couldn't have possibly found a way to escape, especially not after we kept our eyes on them the entire time. Also, I'm hoping that Vegeta did it," with Piccolo responding, "Well, I hope that for your sake that you're actually right. What a ridiculously explosive power. Hey, wait, Piccolo, do you feel that too? Frieza and Cooler's energy has just suddenly vanished. Did they escape, or were they caught in the explosion below?" With Vegeta chiming in, "Oh, damn those idiots up there. I never needed their help against those two, but I don't sense their energy in the sky anymore. It's completely vanished. Hold on, did it really work? There's something up there deep within the smoke," Vegeta went on to analyze. "I no longer sense two energy signatures coming from them, but instead, I'm only now sensing one, a much bigger energy than before. Or did one of them perish while the other gained their power? Or maybe, wait a second, could it really be?" With Piccolo asking, "Gohan, do you sense that coming from the smoke too?" "I do, and that power that I'm sensing is way stronger than what Frieza and his brother were, so you don't think that maybe?" But then, it was only from out of nowhere as an entity was now shown dashing right towards them, where Piccolo went on to shout, "What in the world is that? Oh no, Piccolo, but it was already too late, because it was only just as two thunderous shockwaves were now shown having to occur from above Vegeta, as Gohan and Piccolo's body were now being shown flying right back down towards Vegeta. That was when Vegeta quickly went on to respond, "Whoa, what the hell is that behind the smoke? Piccolo and Gohan's energy just suddenly tanked, and they're headed right for me, but how? What happened?" To which upon Piccolo and Gohan now being shown crashing on down to the ground and also being shown reverting back down to their base form, that was when Vegeta went on to continue, "How were they just taken out so quickly like that? That couldn't have been Frieza or Cooler who did this. You know, for a puny little Saiyan such as yourself to have found a way to transcend beyond the power of the gods and enter into the realm of the divine is truly baffling to me," an ominous voice went on to respond to Vegeta, "especially when considering the history that you and I both share, Vegeta. Your late acclaim as being the prince of an extinct race should have been extinguished a very long time ago, Saiyan. You were never meant to get this far in your life, though I will admit that this destructive power that you harbor is quite impressive. But it won't be enough, for we will obliterate you and leave no trace behind," with Vegeta responding, "We? Oh, I should have known that this would happen. They couldn't have possibly perfected the fusion dance so quickly without getting blown right out of the damn sky. Oh, which means that they must have had a pair of Potaras on them this entire time. Oh, come on out and show yourself, you cowards. I'm not scared of you." "Oh, but you should very much be afraid indeed, Saiyan. We never intended on using the Potaras on a weakling like you, but since you have become a much bigger problem than we expected for you to be, well, here I am. You should be extremely afraid of what you see standing before you, Vegeta. With the combined power and infinite potential from both Frieza and Cooler coursing through my body, you will be reduced to nothing more than a distant memory, Saiyan. And for the record, since this is only our second time joining bodies, you can refer to me as Supreme Emperor Cooliza." And I hope that you are ready for the amount of blood that you are about to spill all over this planet, because now that I am reborn, I will make sure that you pay dearly for everything you did to me. As it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse manga chapter number 51 special then comes to a close. Now, before we dive any further into answering some of the questions that many of you guys probably already have, the next manga chapter will be available right now on my Patreon for all of my Patreon members out there to see, which just so happens to now officially kick off the battle involving both Primal Ultra Instinct Goku and Takira. So if you would not only like to support the fan manga content that you guys see on this channel, but also gain exclusive content and access to so many other additional things, then I do encourage for you all to become a member of my Patreon today, patreon.com/unrealendgaming, to which I will go on ahead and leave that link located down in the description box below and pinned comment section below as well. As for many of those that have been wondering about specifically what is about to transpire involving Goku and Takira, well, you can go as far as to interpret what Yoshido had said involving himself, Budo, and Akuma slightly being beneath all of the 12 angel attendees, because the angel attendees by proxy are by no means fighters, and so the only one that is stronger than the angel attendees right now is of course none other than Takira. So with the other 3 having to be just a smidget slightly below the strength of the other 12, if Goku at the time during the course of his training with Whis was unable to actually do any damage to him, then you can only imagine how bad of a beatdown he is expected to get once he is able to fight off against someone who is on par or stronger than the angels. So to that, so many of your questions to which you guys have been asking about this series will be answered within the final manga chapter of this series, only because it's going to go as far as to tie everything back in together. So that is of course something that I really do hope that you guys are in fact looking forward to. So again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Thank you all so much for your time, to which once again, if you also just so happen to be new to this channel, then I do encourage you all to head on over and smash that subscribe button, on top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more, and with all that being said, I want to thank you all once again, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, everybody, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unreal Gaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
Look! Goku! He's way up there! Hey, what's he doing?
Kame! Everyone, get down! Take cover! Get moving! Goku's releasing the Kamehameha! Goku wouldn't dare emit the Kamehameha wave attack from there. He'll destroy the Earth if he does.
Just relax, guys. Goku's crazy, but he's not that crazy. There's nothing to worry about.
No! Goku!
No! Don't do it! Please, Dad, don't!
No, he wouldn't!
Has Goku beaten Cell at his own game? Fighting at full power and using the killer combination of the Kamehameha wave with the instant transmission technique really blew Cell's mind. The sly Super Saiyan's maneuver put his friends in a panic, but the risk seemed to have paid off. Now the cruel monster is out of commission, and the threat to planet Earth is over. Or is it?
Real fight starts now.
I will not!
The source of strength you rely on is fleeting. They will all be turned to dust. Anyone tries to hurt my friends is gonna pay! This is the true power. Autonomous Ultra Instinct! You understand, don't you?
Okay, so now just when you thought things couldn't get any crazier as they were, introducing the mastered variation of Ultra Ego Vegeta battling against, of course, none other than the so-called mightiest warrior in the universe, to which, not for nothing, if Vegeta actually went as far as to achieve this level of power that I introduced in the story of the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse, then you can make no mistake about the fact that everything that you guys are witnessing right now is bound to happen with gas. So this was actually what kicked off Beerus in wanting to train Vegeta into honing this power to begin with in my story. So now the mod is available, in which you guys can go on ahead and find on my Patreon, and I'm going to be dropping spoilers throughout this video for the story of the top 5 strongest for Vegeta's character specifically. So I do want to urge you guys and give you guys a fair warning that in case you don't want to be spoiled, then I would simply urge you guys, oh my god, we destroyed him faster than I thought we would. I would urge for all of you to simply just pay attention with caution, especially if you want to find out what's about to happen, because you can make no mistake about the fact that when Vegeta enters this level of power, especially a little later on in the story, you're all going to see firsthand exactly what I had planned for him since the very beginning. So with that being said, I want to go on ahead now and jump into the next fight that we have coming up, just to kind of answer some lingering questions that some of you may have on Vegeta's power. Okay, so now check this out. Right off the gate, I'm going to go as far as to say this. Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta in my story is in fact, yes, stronger than Lord Beerus, including all 12 of the other gods of destruction, simply because I wanted to have Vegeta adapt this level of power in a way where he is no longer held down by any sort of emotion or any sort of kind of weakness that he had before. And oh my goodness, we are actually blowing right past this a lot faster than I thought we would. We literally just Hakkai'd one of the literal strongest gods of destruction among the 12. So we're not done, far from it in fact, because now I want to go on ahead and jump into the next fight, because with who I'm going to be fighting with next, I think you guys can simply connect the dots in seeing where I'm going to be going in the near future with these characters. So now check this out. In case you haven't put 2 and 2 together, while Goku is fighting the top 5 strongest, Vegeta will in fact inevitably end up fighting Frieza and Cooler. And so with the way everything is going to come together, Vegeta's sole motive is to do what Goku did not do during the events of ROF, and more or less during the events of after the Tournament of Power, with Vegeta having to tell Goku over and over again that, hey, we can't simply risk by having this guy linger around our universe. He's bound to discover a new form. And so with the way everything is going to unfold, Vegeta will eventually find his way onto Earth, and he is in fact going to be surprised, but yet at the same time welcome the challenge of fighting both Frieza and his brother, to where once things begin to get a little messy between them, that's when certain things are bound to happen, to where I don't want to spoil that part specifically, but what I will say though is based on everything you just saw involving Black Frieza and Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta, the fight in and of itself in the story is kind of going to be a little similar to that. So with that being said, we have a lot more to discuss, so now let's go ahead and jump into the next fight to see what kind of opponent we are going to be battling against next. Now, there might be 2 things right now that you guys might have questions on, to where I want to go ahead and clarify, and that's number 1, in the top 5 strongest story, Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta is stronger than Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, and number 2, if you had any sort of assumption that these 2 were going to fuse in the story, to which I want to tell you all right now that no, these 2 will not be fusing in this story at all, simply because I wanted to go ahead and introduce this narrative where each of them, with both Goku and Vegeta deciding to take their own path in life, in one having to follow down the path of a god of destruction while the other goes down the path of an angel, they in fact are going to be doing their own thing, which was why I wanted to make them different from the very beginning. But in case you're kind of curious about it, yes, Goku and Vegeta will reunite in a very, very awkward way, so it's going to be really interesting and yet funny at the same time, especially after they end up seeing each other after so long by having to bear witness to both of their new forms. So there is going to be so much substance and so many revelations that I can't wait to show you guys as the story continues. So with that being said, now let's go ahead and jump into the next fight, because let me tell you, we are only now just simply getting started. Okay, so now instead of having to beat up Goku, I wanted to go ahead now and team up with him to battle against Ultra Instinct Moro 7-3 and the fusion of both Granola and Ultra Instinct Moro at the same time, to where I think Granola, which is the fusion of Granola and Moro, should be able to kind of give me a fight right now, in a sense where it might be the only mod thus far that could stand up to me, because for those that end up downloading this mod on my Patreon, you're going to realize that Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta is in fact going to be really, really powerful, and also at the same time very difficult to take down. So what I wanted to specifically do with him, in which you guys are going to see once he ends up fighting Cooler and Frieza with, is all of those silly emotions and issues that he had during the fight against Granola and Gas are going to be simply eradicated away, because both his mind and his spirit is going to be solely focused on destruction, to where it kind of goes back to how he originally was as a cold-blooded, bloodlustful killer, to which that right there was exactly what Beerus had wanted him to become from the very beginning upon having to use this power. And at first you might take a look at both Cooler and Frieza having to fight Vegeta and say, okay, this looks like it's beginning to get a little overwhelming for him. When are you going to do this? Or at least, when is this going to happen, right? To which those 2 aren't going to be fodder characters either. They're actually going to provide a lot of substance within the story, and once Vegeta comes to realize that, okay, now I see what I have to do, and now I kind of have a better idea as to how I want to approach this, then that's when you're going to see the monster come out of Vegeta in a way to where I think all of you guys that have been rooting for Vegeta are simply going to love once you see it. So not for nothing though, just to make a quick little side note, I wasn't really paying attention as much to see that I'm fighting both of these guys at the exact same time. So this kind of went as far as to show me that the version of Ultra Instinct Goku that I have right now isn't really going to be someone that I can basically rely on, especially if I'm fighting these guys at the same time by myself. So might as well just dish out all of the Hakkais and just see how far I can actually go by simply erasing these characters to begin with. So down they both go. The victory now goes to the one who actually worked for it, which of course Vegeta did. So with that being said, now let's go ahead and jump into the next fight, because not for nothing I had a few ideas that I wanted to run by with you guys, and so I figured with who I plan on fighting next might actually be the best time in asking you guys this question. that people are going to be asking, they have been requesting, but unfortunately we aren't going to see Vegeta versus any of the top 5 strongest, including Budo. But if it helps anybody sleep better at night, I will say this: despite Goku's new form and Vegeta's new transformation, as a proxy by comparison to the top 5 strongest, the top 5 strongest are still going to be stronger than even both of them at their current peaks right now. Why? Well, simply put, those individuals have lived longer, they have been training longer, and so it becomes more of an age and experience kind of thing. So don't get me wrong now, the fight involving both Budo and Vegeta would be a very interesting one, considering the fact that you can ultimately just simply have Budo shapeshift into either one of Vegeta's loved ones and using that against him, or perhaps maybe one of the enemies from the past, just as he had done with Goku. So what I wanted to ask you guys instead was, do you guys want me to put together some sprite animation fights by going as far as to feature such characters? Because if you guys do, then comment down below on what kind of a sprite fight would you guys want me to create, because instead of including it within the manga, I was actually thinking about doing Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta versus Budo in the form of a sprite fight. So simply let me know down below if you guys want to see that or not, because not for nothing, right now Budo is, I think, the longest lasting opponent that I have to fight right now, and I'm actually kind of glad for that, because at least he's not going down so easily like Beerus and Goku and whatnot. So in case you're wondering, no, sadly this fight isn't going to happen in the manga, but what I will say without going too far into spoilers is Vegeta will in fact actually meet them, and it's going to be written in a way to where it kind of comes off a bit awkward, because this was the last thing that Vegeta was hoping to have happen. So with that being said, now let's go ahead and jump into the next fight, because let me tell you now, we are far from finished. Okay, now, so I randomly went along to select Granoku only because I know that Granoku, which is the fusion of Goku and Granola, is not for nothing one of my strongest fusions in this game so far, and I wanted to see how fast, as an example, Mastered Ultra Ego would go as far as to decimate this fusion with. So I will even go as far as to dare say that Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta would in fact be stronger than a fusion like this, only because I'm telling you that with the way Vegeta's mind is going to work in this story and the way his mind is going to operate while using this form, he in fact is going to be completely bloodlustful. He is going to be enraged in such a way that he's actually going to take up Beerus's notion to only solely think about destruction and nothing else, and that is exactly what is going to make this variation of Vegeta that much more dangerous within the story. So you can only expect that once he ends up coming to Earth, and once he ends up actually saving said individuals from what Frieza and Cooler do, then you're going to see exactly why he is as dangerous as I'm telling you all that he is. And right now, I think Granoku is either going to, yep, that's the end of him. Wow, that was actually insanely fast. I haven't seen Granoku go down like that in a very long time. So with that being said, now let's go ahead and jump into the next fight, because not for nothing, I think you guys haven't seen this character around the channel for about, I would say, a year, and I already know that you guys may have a lot of questions, so why waste any more time, and let's just simply jump into it just to kind of get those answers out there. Now, I already know what you guys might be asking down in the comment section below, because I've seen it be done on my previous manga videos, and that is, Alex, is Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta stronger than Murno? And the answer is no. And the reason why I say no is because I'm using mainly angel scaling, in the sense where angels so far within the main story of Dragon Ball are said to be existing entities that no other mortal or even any other deity itself can surpass, and so that notion itself applies to Beerus and Whis, of course, Whis being stronger, as are all of the other angels compared to their own gods, to which we also know that the Grand Priest actually sits on top just beneath Zeno himself. So with Murno essentially kind of being around that realm of power and being slightly beneath the Grand Priest, then Murno would simply solo Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta in any given circumstance, even though it would serve Vegeta greatly in a way to where all he would solely think about is destroying Murno, even though he can't, right? So maybe if you guys would like for me to adapt a sprite animation elimination battle featuring MUE Vegeta versus Murno, then let me know down below, because I'm most certainly not going to bring Murno back from the dead to have him fight him. So I think I'm in trouble, not for nothing, because I believe that this version of Murno is probably unstoppable, because I've seen many characters go up against him, including myself, from picking various different fighters to try and take him down with, and it simply didn't work. So I'm gonna try to see if I can just Hakai him a bajillion times and maybe just kind of hope for the best in watching him fall. But in case you're kind of wondering, no, the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse are not stronger than him. Murno would still go out of his way to solo everybody, but would they give Murno a difficult time in aggravating him in battle? Of course. But if we're talking about solely killing him off by using either of the 5, including Vegeta and Goku, then the answer is sadly no. So either way, I truly do hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, to which if you guys did, then be sure to give this video a big fat thumbs up right now by slapping that like button down below. It's simple, it's easy, it takes 2 seconds, and it's free. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, then do consider smashing that subscribe button, because I'm really trying to up our subscriber count this year, and on top of that, also adding new members onto the Patreon. So if you're not a member, then do consider becoming a member today. I want to thank each and every single person for watching this, because I swear to you, I'm trying to take this dude down, and I don't think that it's possible, either because Murno is simply too strong, or I'm not strong enough to even combat this guy, because every single time, yeah, it's the end. Oh my goodness, dude. It's like this version of Murno is unstoppable in this game. I couldn't touch him. So either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all so much for your support and for your patience. It goes a much longer way than you guys may think. So with that being said, I want to thank you all one more time, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, guys, and have a great day. Peace.
It looks like someone's been doing their push-ups, sit-ups, and drinking plenty of juice. Why don't you and I do some private training?
OMG, I would so love to learn how to do the Kaioken.
You bet! I'll even show you my special power pole technique.
Goku, you are so rad. Dad, we're just going to train. Stop being weird.
The only thing weird here is Kakarot putting his hands on my baby girl!
Daddy, you have done this so many times. When Goten and I were hanging out, you overreacted like a total geek.
I want to take off your pride.
You bastard!
And when Yamcha offered me flowers, you knocked out his teeth.
Creep!
Hello. You come around here often? Oh, wait, Vegeta, that's your... Oh my god. I flirted with a monkey. I almost committed bestiality. Ah! You're still a monkey.
Are you feeling angry, humiliated? Is that it? Fool! You don't know humiliation!
Well, yeah, I better remind these companies.
What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. I've already done a scenario where Vegeta turned out to be the legendary Super Saiyan, and of course, that had people asking, what if I ended up doing the same with Goku? I mean, he is the main character after all, naturally people would end up asking this. And while it would be kinda similar to what happened with Vegeta, it would be a completely different story given Goku's mindset. Imagine, a legendary Super Saiyan but with a pure heart like Goku. It could make for a pretty interesting combo. For this part, let's set a like goal of 3,500 likes. If we hit that, I'll continue the series with more parts. Anyways, let's start here. As a kid, Bardock notices that Kakarot has some freaky powers. At certain points his power spikes, even when he's in his incubation chamber. He's not too sure what to think of it, but it could mean Kakarot will be a really strong warrior going forward. He has some incredible potential, and Bardock sees this. Besides wanting Kakarot to survive, He thinks Kakarot may have the power to defeat Frieza eventually. And like normal, he sends Kakarot away, but keeping this in mind, he's confident that one day, he'll avenge the Saiyans. Kakarot is still sent to Earth like normal, and retroactively, we're gonna have everything stay the same here. Goku's gonna hit his head and all, and that's gonna suppress a lot of his anger, turning him into the same pure-hearted boy that we all know. If we went back and gave Goku the potential of someone like Broly, there'd be no story. I mean, he'd just defeat every villain really easily. It wouldn't be too fun, so retroactively, we're just gonna use it to explain how fast Goku grew and how much of a prodigy he is. Plus, this will also help explain a lot with Gohan, given his rage boost and all. It is kind of fitting, even if we don't go into depth with it. But that doesn't mean I'm completely erasing his potential. No, we're gonna see it later on, and I feel like the big catalyst for this will be Namek. And not when he fights Frieza, but even before that. His growth starts becoming more and more prevalent in the Namek arc. As he heads towards the planet, his growth is getting insane. His gravity training is making him grow incredibly powerful. He's never been this impressed with his own strength. Ginyu is even amazed at Goku's power when they eventually fight. Too bad for him though, because it doesn't really pan out. And Ginyu loses access to Goku's body, leaving Goku injured like normal, healing up in one of the healing chambers. Once more, Goku's injured, brought to the brink of death. And this means he's gonna get a huge boost of power once he's fully healed. In the original story, he did get really strong from this, but this is gonna be different. With his great potential now, he's gonna get excessively powerful, way more than he did originally. A lot of the stuff with Frieza goes normal, up until the point when Vegeta is killed. And around that same time, Goku wakes up once more. His friends are all amazed with his strength. Instead of being 3 million like it was normally, here it's gonna actually be 10 million. In comparison to Frieza, that's not really that big of a deal. The one thing that Frieza doesn't consider is that Goku has Kaioken, up to times 20. With Kaioken times 20, Goku would actually outmatch Frieza. Of course, he can't use Kaioken forever. It's very draining on the body, especially at this level. But still, it's simple math. Kaioken times 20 with the power level of 10 million. That leaves Goku at a power of 200 million. Way bigger than what Frieza's at, even at his full power. This means Frieza has to actually go full power earlier on. Instead of going at 50%, he bulks up right away, knowing that Goku's the real deal. He's not sure what happened or why this Saiyan is so strong, but he's pissed off. This is the first time he's actually had a real challenge. And he's not gonna let this monkey get away with this. Goku can tell that Frieza's getting desperate, but he's getting desperate too. Kaioken times 20 brings him way beyond Frieza's power, but it's not something that Goku can maintain. He has to conserve his stamina and find a way to end this quickly. Otherwise he'll get tired out and Frieza will kill him. But like I mentioned, Frieza is getting really desperate, and he decides that he's gonna take out the other people around Goku first. If he can't kill this monkey, he'll at least kill his friends, and then take out the planet with them. Gohan, Krillin, and Piccolo are trying to help, but of course they're not really doing anything, mainly serving as distractions so Goku can catch his breath as he uses Kaioken continuously. And they're making some great progress, but Goku's not too sure. Kaioken is so taxing on its body. He needs the perfect opening to land a finishing blow on the Emperor. That's what they all plan to do. They're trying to distract Frieza so Goku can get this opportunity. Frieza is annoyed beyond belief, and decides to go to kill the others now. First, he decides that maybe he'll kill the Brat. One less Saiyan in the universe will put him at ease. Then he'll go for the Namekian and the Earthling. As Goku tries to recharge, Frieza then sets his sights on Gohan. Piccolo and Krillin try to fight Frieza as well, but he knocks both of them out of the way. Then grabbing onto Gohan, punching him in the stomach, leaving him injured. Holding Gohan up by his hair, he turns around and looks at Goku. Goku doesn't know how to react. Frieza has Gohan hostage, and Goku begins to feel anger. Anger like he's never felt before. He doesn't want it to cloud his judgment though, but that's easier said than done. Frieza then sticks out a single hand, placing it on Gohan's back. He smirks, and then launches a massive blast. The beam dissipates, and Gohan's nowhere to be seen. Frieza completely eradicated him. Piccolo and Krillin are feeling a mix of fear and anger, but for Goku, it's different. He has a blank expression on his face. There's no way what just happened actually happened. Everything is silent. And Goku then begins shaking. Piccolo and Krillin aren't too sure what's happening, but they know that Frieza pissed him off. This isn't just regular anger though, no. It's the pure embodiment of rage. They have never seen Goku look like this before. The expression on his face. It scares even them too. But then something else changes. A massive gust of wind is sent their way, as an incredible green aura surrounds Goku. They're not sure what's happening, and they look over to see. Goku's beginning to bulk up, considerably. His shirt rips, and he's grown in size. Not only are his muscles growing, but his whole body. His hair, it's spiking up. His eyes are completely blank. The aura then gets more and more intense, blinding everyone. Goku undergoes a horrific transformation as the planet's illuminated by a terrifying green light. The light dissipates and then they see. Goku's standing there looking much different. It doesn't even look like him. It looks like a monster, and Frieza realizes what he just created. No way. The green hair, that bulked up appearance. Goku's transformed, and it's not any normal transformation. It's the Super Saiyan. Little does Frieza know though, this isn't just any Super Saiyan. It's the legendary Super Saiyan, capital L. A completely different beast from a normal Super Saiyan. Goku is completely berserk. There's only one thing on his mind. He wants to kill Frieza. A huge sonic boom is created as Goku launches over towards Frieza, shaking the entire area. He then clashes with Frieza, hitting him right in the gut as Frieza coughs up blood. Krillin and Piccolo are terrified. They don't know what they're witnessing, but they can tell that Goku's completely berserk. He's lost it. They decide to retreat for now, grabbing Bulma to make sure she's safe. They sense his power, and it's nothing like they've sensed before. It's completely unfathomable. It makes Frieza's look small in comparison. And while part of them is glad that Goku got this power up, they don't know what's going to happen after he kills Frieza. It seems like he's gone completely insane, losing any sense of rationality. They get Bulma, and the three of them get on a ship, with Bulma confused as to what's happening as the planet continues shaking. They're ready to escape, but Piccolo then decides to get off and says he can't leave Goku here like that. Even if they're terrified at Goku's power and what he's going to do, Piccolo wants to get him to snap out of it. They can't just run away like cowards. Back to Goku, he's beating Frieza badly, and this isn't any normal fight. Goku's become a complete brute. He's not fighting with any of his talent and grace like he usually does. Frieza tries to fight back, landing some powerful attacks and even Ki Blast. But Goku just brushes them off. Whenever one of his lasers hits, it just bounces off Goku like nothing. And with Goku having gone berserk, he's not making this quick either. He's basically torturing Frieza. Namek is still intact, but if Goku keeps fighting in the way he does, he'll destroy it and himself. Piccolo flies over and then yells to Goku, as Goku turns around, holding a half-dead Frieza in his hand, dropping him to the ground. Slowly, Goku floats over towards Piccolo, and Piccolo instinctively moves back as he looks concerned. Goku's staring at him, but he sees no pupils in his eyes. It's just pure white. And his aura alone, it's pushing Piccolo back. It's so powerful. He's terrified but tries to hide his fear, not knowing what Goku's going to do to him, if he's going to attack or if he's just threatening Piccolo. From below, a massive purple beam comes up. Frieza tries to counterattack, with Goku simply swatting the beam away. Frieza then jumps up, ready to attack once more, but the angered Goku turns around to him and screams. The scream so loud that it knocks Piccolo back, and it generates energy from Goku's mouth. A massive green beam flies out towards Frieza, instantly eradicating him, as the beam flies off into space, illuminating the entire planet, leaving a massive crater in its wake. With Frieza now dead, Goku turns around and focuses his attention on Piccolo. He cocks his arm back and then hits Piccolo with a strong punch. He pulls the punch though because he doesn't want to kill Piccolo right away. Piccolo is instantly knocked unconscious from this, launched miles away, and Goku goes to finish the job. But then Krillin jumps out, even more scared than Piccolo. Krillin picks Piccolo up and looks at Goku, trying to get him to stop. Bulma then jumps out of the ship too, looking up terrified as she sees what Goku looks like. And Goku then stops in his tracks. Seeing Krillin helps him regain some of that sanity, his best friend, he sees Bulma and Piccolo too, realizing who they are. Krillin's yelling out at Goku trying to get him to stop, with King Kai even talking in his head too trying to do the same. Suddenly, his aura disappears, and Goku snaps out of it, returning to his normal state, collapsing onto the ground exhausted. No one knows what they just saw. They're all confused and scared. Both Goku and Piccolo are unconscious, and Krillin and Bulma decide to leave, but before they do, wishes are made to revive everyone on Namek, and with Porunga there to grant one more wish, the Namekians wish to restore their planet, and in a few months' time, they'll wish for another planet to be made and moved there. But with the wish made to revive everyone, that of course brings Gohan back as well as Vegeta. They know that they died, but they don't really know what happened afterwards. And as for Vegeta, he doesn't really know what to do, so he goes to ask the group what happened. He sees Kakarot unconscious as Piccolo wakes up, and he sees Frieza nowhere in sight. Did Kakarot actually kill him somehow? Well, Piccolo begins explaining. Yes, he killed Frieza, but it was due to some transformation that he got. They're not too sure what happened, but after Gohan ended up dying, Goku transformed, and Piccolo explains what he saw. Vegeta's surprised to hear this. At first he assumes it's the regular Super Saiyan, but then his stomach drops as Piccolo begins to explain further. Obviously Vegeta's only heard stuff from legends, but from what he's hearing, this doesn't sound like a regular Super Saiyan. It sounds like the legendary Super Saiyan, capital L. A completely different form with destructive powers unlike any other. He's not sure what to think of this, but decides he's gonna head back to Earth with them. They don't really want Vegeta to come on the ship, but what could they really do? Piccolo's in bad shape, Goku's unconscious, and Krillin can't fight Vegeta off. Maybe Gohan can, but they'd rather not fight right now. So without any better options, they let Vegeta board the ship and they head back towards Earth. After some time, Goku finally wakes up, not too sure himself what happened. All he remembers is that Gohan ended up dying, but he sees Gohan in front of him, so it might have just been a bad dream or something. He was fighting Frieza though, he knows that did happen. But his memory is kinda cloudy. Besides being exhausted, he's just confused if anything. Piccolo starts out with the good news. The good thing is, they defeated Frieza and saved Namek. Well, it wasn't really them that did it was mostly Goku. And that makes Goku happy. Oh, the Kaioken must have worked. He assumes that he just used it too much and he got exhausted and forgot everything afterwards. But that's not actually the case. Piccolo tells him that Gohan actually did die. Thankfully though, with a wish made from Earth, everyone ended up getting revived, so that's why Gohan came back so quickly. The thing is, after Gohan died, Goku transformed, and Piccolo goes into more detail. Wait, he transformed? He doesn't remember any of this. Apparently he went completely berserk too. That doesn't sound like him, but everything Piccolo and Krillin are saying is the truth. They wouldn't just make this up. And Vegeta steps in to talk more about it. He assumes that Kakarot is the legendary Super Saiyan, one with a power so intense that he destroys everything around him, strength that's unmatched by anyone else. Vegeta begins questioning him more, but Goku doesn't know anything. Not only doesn't he remember it, but he knows nothing about whatever this transformation is. As for Vegeta, this at least explains to him why Goku's so strong. Even though a lot of Goku's strength was from his training, Vegeta's just gonna assume that it's from him being the legendary Super Saiyan, and the insane potential boiling up within him. Of course, Goku is interested in this. Apparently it sounds really strong, and he wants to learn more about it and how to control it, especially because if he doesn't, well, he could end up destroying everything if he gets too angry again. Obviously it would make him a lot stronger too and would make fights more interesting. That's most of the reason he wants to learn it. But still, he's worried. Apparently he lost all control, and almost killed Piccolo. And if this happens again, who knows what'll happen? Maybe he'll kill his friends, maybe he'll destroy Earth, maybe he'll destroy himself. He doesn't even want to think about it, and actually begins to grow concerned with his power. Sure, it could make him stronger, but if he loses control again, what happens? Goku actually seems scared, and isn't sure what to do, but Vegeta tells him he'll try and help train him. Obviously Vegeta's not sure himself how to do this, but maybe he can work with Kakarot and get him to learn something. And on the flip side, it'll help Vegeta learn some things himself. Maybe he can get his own transformation. The ship heads back towards Earth, and eventually everyone heals up. Goku actually gets stronger from this just in his base alone. Because of how overwhelming the power was, it actually injured him. And once he's healed, he gets stronger from it. He and Vegeta begin exploring the possibilities of what happened. But then the two of them realize something. Goku's seen Gohan fight before, and when he gets mad, he gets incredibly powerful, and Goku's not too sure what to think of it. He thought at first it was just because of how he grew up, being a hybrid Saiyan and all. But the more he thinks about it, the more he realizes it might be a trait from Goku. Yeah, Goku is the legendary Super Saiyan, but what if Gohan has the same power within him? He is Goku's son after all, and Vegeta's surprised. He never even considered this, but Kakarot might actually be right. That creates a really big conundrum. Not only do they have Goku to worry about, but they have Gohan to worry about now too. What if he could access the same power? And what if it's even more potent than what Goku has due to him being a hybrid? They don't know, but first they need to get to the bottom of it, figuring out what actually makes Goku tick, and seeing if they can get him to access it again and control it this time around. Goku's a bit concerned, but he's up for the challenge. At least it'll make him stronger and give him a better grasp on his power. Although, he's not too sure what route he's gonna go down. Back on Earth, Vegeta begins observing Goku. The two of them have already started training together, trying to figure out what to do next. Because think about it, if Goku wants to grasp this power somehow, he's gonna need to transform again, but if he does, that brings along the risk of him destroying himself and everyone else around him, as well as the planet too probably. So Vegeta's weighing the negatives and positives. Positive side, they get to train with him. Negative side, maybe everyone blows up. Okay, well, he'll save that idea for later. They can get Goku to transform later on. They keep thinking and there might be a way to actually work around this. A way for Goku to actually transform and practice with the transformation, and a way for Goku to learn how to control it. It's a perfect idea, and Vegeta lets Goku know. He's gonna transform first. Wait, what? Yeah, Vegeta thinks this is actually a great plan. Not only will it let them see what the form is like from Vegeta's perspective, but if Goku does transform and he goes berserk, that means Vegeta will be stronger and he can keep Goku under control. Hopefully. He might not be strong enough, but it's worth a shot at least. And obviously he doesn't tell Goku this part, but it's partially because it lets Vegeta get ahead. He gets to train with Super Saiyan or whatever he gets, while Goku's still stuck behind trying to figure out his form. So at least for the time being, it might give Vegeta a bit of a head start. Not that it's going to be an incredibly long-lasting lead, but it will be enough to stroke Vegeta's ego. It's the perfect opportunity for both of them to grow, and a way for Goku to actually figure out his thing. They waste no time, and immediately the two begin training together with this in mind, trying to get Vegeta to turn Super Saiyan somehow. Now clearly, this isn't going to be an overnight process. They know nothing about Super Saiyan. The only time they've ever seen one is with Goku, and he's not even a regular Super Saiyan. For Vegeta, it might be completely different. Maybe anger won't make him transform. Maybe it's sadness. Maybe it's self-loathing. Maybe something else. They don't know. They keep going through all the possibilities, but they're not sure how to figure it out. It seems like trial and error will probably be the best way for them to do it for now. At least though, they're still training, which means even in base they're getting stronger. So at least they're not wasting a bunch of time trying to get Vegeta to transform. Goku doesn't remember much from his fight with Frieza, but vaguely he remembers a weird feeling that he had before he transformed. Maybe this will help Vegeta. He felt a weird energy concentrating in his back, almost like he focused all the energy there on the top of it, and it sparked inside of him, causing some sort of weird transformation. But after feeling that sensation, he doesn't remember much else. That's the best he can give Vegeta. Well, Vegeta can actually kind of work with that. The tingly back thing that we saw with the Universe 6 Saiyans. What if Vegeta could do that too? Yeah, I don't like the tingly back explanation just as much as the next guy, but it's at least useful here in this scenario. And if we are going with that logic, we're going to have to use S-cells too, which Vegeta probably wouldn't have a lot of. He tries to do the tingly back thing, but it doesn't really help too much. He does feel a brief sensation, but not enough to actually push him over the edge and transform. But over the course of the next year or so, they keep trying this, trying to get Vegeta to transform in any way possible, and eventually he does actually unlock it. Very briefly, but he still gets it, and it's amazing. It's not like Goku's Super Saiyan, it's completely different. Vegeta is stronger in this form, not as strong as Goku, but a lot stronger regardless. And it's not calm by any means, but Vegeta has way more control over it and has lucidity in the form, whereas Goku completely just lost his mind. Obviously Vegeta's form is a lot easier to get a grasp on. And now that he has this form, the next step is to try and get him to control it better. He's going to try and tame the power somehow. If he figures out a way to tame it, then Goku can try it himself with his form. Goku is still nervous though. He's not too sure this is going to work. Vegeta's Super Saiyan does seem like it could help, but it doesn't seem like it's going to do too much. Even with the similarities, they're just too different. Maybe some of the stuff does apply to his form, but Goku also does consider the possibility that it's completely useless to try and learn this. It might not work at all, but it is his best shot at getting stronger and getting over his anxiety of getting stronger. The two continue on with this, with Vegeta interested to see how Goku grows. Even though he's just training in base, he's getting exceptionally stronger. It's insane. Training is going pretty well for them and everyone else, until one day, they sense a vaguely familiar energy out in space, but something that they can't quite put their finger on. But Vegeta knows instantly who it is. Wait, that energy. It feels similar to Frieza's, which means it's probably King Cold. Oh great, he found Earth. Vegeta's not scared, just annoyed. By this point, he's more than strong enough to actually defeat King Cold, and he plans to do exactly just that. Everyone else senses King Cold arriving on Earth, wondering what's going on, and Vegeta tells him not to worry. He's got it under control. Not only will this be a perfect way to test out his Super Saiyan form, but it'll be a nice taste of revenge. Vegeta flies over to where the ship is landing. A bunch of soldiers step out, and with a single blast from his hand, Vegeta eliminates them all. He hears a chuckle as someone walks off the ship. It's King Cold. Just like he expected, Vegeta is here on Earth, no longer in space doing whatever he was doing before. King Cold says he's here to kill everyone, but before he does want Vegeta to tell him one thing. How did Frieza die? Even if Vegeta doesn't tell him the story, King Cold will just kill him regardless, but it'll be nice to at least get this info out of him before he kills him. Vegeta's glad he asked. He tells him it was the legendary Super Saiyan. Wait, the legendary Super Saiyan? Like that myth that they heard about? There's no way. And what's even better, it wasn't even Vegeta that was a legendary Super Saiyan. But he informs King Cold not to worry. There's another type of Super Saiyan standing right in front of him, Vegeta himself. Surrounded by a golden aura, Vegeta powers up and then transforms into Super Saiyan, showing it off to King Cold. No, this has to be some sort of trick. The Super Saiyan can't be real, especially two of them. Vegeta lunges at King Cold and the two begin their battle. And by battle, I mean one-sided beatdown. Vegeta's way stronger than where King Cold would be here. And he enjoys his time, although he can't cause too much damage to Earth, so he does have to make this quick. If he drags this on any longer, who knows? King Cold might get desperate and try to blow up the planet. No biggie though. Vegeta jumps up in the air, sticking out one hand. He shouts Big Bang Attack, launching a beam of energy at King Cold. He's eradicated right on the spot, not a trace left, and Vegeta has claimed victory. Just like he thought, that would be over pretty quickly, and it was a nice test of his power. He's much stronger than he actually assumed. He thought there would be at least a little bit of struggle, but nothing at all. It was really easy. This is why Vegeta's behaving so well right now. He's so strong that he's not even mad at anyone, and not being his bitter usual self. I mean, I hate to be mean to him, but come on, look at how he acted during the Android saga. He was a pretty big ass at times, but with him being the top dog around here, or seemingly the top dog, he's pretty happy. And especially with this fight against King Cold, he's even happier. This is amazing. But as he leaves the area, someone else shows up. He hears someone land behind him and turns around, and his smirk turns into a shocked expression. This fighter, his energy is so familiar, not to mention his outfit. The key that Vegeta's reading, it's almost exactly like Gohan's. No wait, it is exactly Gohan's. Not to mention the obvious outfit. What's going on here? The man standing in front of him introduces himself. He's future Gohan. He was expecting to fight King Cold, but it seems Vegeta already took care of that, and he asked Vegeta if he can get everyone to come over here. Okay, Vegeta's just completely confused, but he obliges. He goes to get everyone else, and they come over here. Just as surprised as Vegeta. No way! Gohan from the future? That's kinda awesome. And yeah, he's here with 3 pieces of news. 3 things that could really help out some people. For one, he gives Goku his heart virus medicine, and then begins to tell his backstory. In his timeline, he and Trunks were actually able to defeat the androids. Well, by him and Trunks, I mean him. And we'll be getting into why that's the case. With all of his training, Gohan in the future was actually able to unlock legendary Super Saiyan, just like Goku and Vegeta suspected. When he transformed, he actually used it against the androids. And even though his power was pretty great, the 2 androids together were able to overcome him, alongside the fact that Gohan couldn't control himself. Inadvertently, they saved the Earth from being destroyed by Gohan. But Gohan began thinking and realized that this might actually be perfect. They can keep him in check, the androids of all people. He could fight against them and try and get a grasp on the form, on top of all the training he's doing. After a while, he did get a lot stronger and got a better control on this form, learning to perfectly control it without going berserk at all. And this is eventually what allowed him to defeat the androids, single-handedly in fact. Really, he didn't need to come back in time. While the androids were attacking, Bulma still did have a failsafe, which was the time machine. If Gohan actually wasn't able to defeat the androids, they'd at least have this to fall back on. But even so, she wonders if they could use it. I mean, it's kind of a shame that it has to go to waste. They still could use it and try to reverse everything. Yeah, the androids are defeated and they're rebuilding stuff. But maybe they could bring everyone back this way, prevent it from ever happening. It's at least worth a shot, so she sent Gohan back into the past. And obviously he doesn't mention Trunks in the story, otherwise he might not be born. Anywho, this backstory served as 2 other pieces of information that would be useful to everyone. Obviously the part about the android is something to need to consider, but more importantly, the fact that Gohan got control over legendary Super Saiyan. This shows Goku that it is possible, and Gohan's gonna help him. And even better, this means Gohan in the present timeline can get it too, and later on he can get the same form. Future Gohan spent some time in the past teaching Goku this method. Goku transforms again for the first time since Namek, losing control just like he expected. At first, Gohan actually has to beat him in the fight and knock him out, because Goku has no way of maintaining his power. But over the next few days they do this more and more, and eventually Goku does get some sort of control. Not perfect control, but enough to where he doesn't destroy everything. And soon enough, with some more training, he'll be where Gohan is. But this is all the time Gohan has. He returns to the future timeline, wishing everyone the best and telling them he'll see them in 3 years. Also glad to have seen Goku again. And of course, fighting him too. That was pretty fun. The 3 years of training begin, and it goes pretty much like normal. Normal as in, nothing really of note happens. But in terms of powers, Vegeta is stronger because he got a nice head start on Super Saiyan. And as for Goku, he's obviously getting more control over his legendary form. For Gohan, he's not too sure if he wants to pursue this. It seems scary. I mean, consider how old Gohan is at this time. He's still a kid. But seeing his future self kind of served as motivation for him. He could do it too, and he should. He wants to make that future version of himself proud. He needs to fulfill that destiny. And if the androids truly are as threatening as they say, he needs to do this regardless. He doesn't actually unlock it over the 3 years, but they can tell he's close. He just needs a little push, and they're not too sure what, but they know it's going to come up soon. As for the androids, Jiro has been studying everyone, and with some of the fighters being stronger, Jiro naturally would adjust his androids to be strong enough to actually counter them. The encounter with the first few androids goes pretty normally, except for one major change. When they're actually fighting 19 and 20, Goku doesn't fall ill to the heart virus. He already did fall ill to it. It actually hit a bit earlier than expected. This is due to the intensity of legendary Super Saiyan. It wore out his body more and actually brought the virus out. A little bit earlier than it should have, so Goku already did fall ill to it, then took the medicine and got better. He's back in commission and is ready to fight, easily defeating Android 19 while Vegeta takes on Android 20, who then ends up escaping trying to activate the androids in his lab. Jiro knew they were strong, but he didn't expect them to be this potent. It doesn't matter though, even if he and 19 can do the job, 17 and 18 definitely will. So he activates the androids. Back with our group of heroes, they actually get to meet someone new. Gohan finally comes back from the future, but he has a visitor alongside him, and Vegeta's amazed to see who it is. There's no doubt about it, this person is his son, Trunks, from the future. No one actually knew that Trunks was alive in the future. Vegeta made it a note to actually ask Gohan if he was alive, but it seems like he doesn't have to ask. Gohan said he kept this a secret to make sure that Trunks would be born here, and it seems like that actually worked. And surprisingly enough, Trunks is also a Super Saiyan, a normal one like Vegeta. And the group tells Gohan everything that happened. It seems that the androids here weren't the same ones from their timeline. But after some searching, they're eventually able to find Jiro's lab and realize, yeah, they're kinda screwed here. The androids here are much stronger than they were before. Jiro adjusted them to account for the strength of everyone in this timeline, which is definitely kind of an issue. And the great thing is, Goku's okay, and he's right there in front of the androids. Their target came right to them. It's perfect. And a lot less work for them. The group fights off the androids, and with 2 extra fighters from the future, it's actually a little bit more even. Goku's able to show off the full power of his controlled legendary Super Saiyan form. And if it was just the regular group alone, they might have not stood a chance against the androids, but with Gohan and Trunks here, they give a lot of extra power, especially future Gohan. And even though these androids are stronger, they shouldn't be too big of a deal. And they come up with a perfect plan. The group holds off the androids as Goku and future Gohan retreat, drawing back for a bit as they formulate a plan. And they have the perfect idea. They just need to separate the androids. If they can defeat one, they'll be able to easily defeat the other, and there's a great way to actually do that. They just need to team up. A combined attack from 2 legendary Super Saiyans should be enough to kill one of them, and then after that they'll just go after the other. They give out a signal and the group immediately helps. They start by distracting the androids with blasts. Of course they're not injured by all of this, but as the blasts dissipate, they see 2 blinding lights in front of them, solar flares from Tenshinhan and Krillin. Blinded, the androids stumble back, and they're actually blind. Unlike the others, they can't sense ki, which makes it a lot tougher for them. They have to rely purely on vision, which they don't have right now. Goku and Gohan immediately power up, jumping in and not giving them a chance to react. First, they aim for the stronger one, Android 17. Gohan lands a powerful gut punch on 17, as Goku then elbows him in the head, pummeling him down into the ground. The 2 then jump up, and together, they launch a blast right at the ground, critically injuring 17. Slowly, Android 18's vision comes back, and she looks over to see a crater with 17 in it, badly beaten and injured. She's angry and jumps at the father-son duo, trying to attack, but with the 2 of them together, they outpace her. Now she's at a disadvantage. The 2 fly at her together. Goku hits her from behind, bad phrasing, don't have a dirty mind, and Gohan attacks her from the front. This stuns her midair, and the 2 of them draw back. Together they launch Kamehamehas at each other, with 18 right in the middle. The 2 blasts collide, creating a massive explosion, killing 18 and leaving nothing left. They look back over to the pit where 17 was, ready to finish him off, but they don't see him. There's a cloud of smoke, but it dissipates and there's no one there. He's badly injured though, so once they find him, they can finish it off quickly. But somewhere out there, 17's alive, and not only that, there's another android, another threat that they don't even know about. Imperfect Cell is out there lurking somewhere, and with 17 wandering about, he actually has a chance to absorb one of the androids. Although he won't get 2 of them, this is still enough. But first he actually has to locate the androids and figure out what's going on with them. The group's glad that they're victorious, but they're not going to celebrate yet. They want to make sure that 17 is gone for good. And plus, they see something very concerning. They search through Jiro's lab and find something weird at the bottom floor. A project, something that wasn't released yet. This project is titled Cell. This is the first time they discover and learn of him. After encountering Goku and Gohan, Android 17 narrowly escaped with his life. He's pretty badly injured, but thanks to him being an android, he still has energy left to escape. And also he can't be sensed by them. He needs to figure out what to do next though, not entirely sure what the best course of action is. He could try and plan a counterattack, but he'd need to heal up first, and that's definitely going to take a while. And even then, how strong really is he? He was confident in his strength before, but now it seems like there's no way for him to win. And that's even if he does get the chance to escape. Maybe the group will be able to track him down or something, even without sensing him. He's nervous and unsure of what to do next. He continues moving, and eventually encounters someone. He doesn't recognize the person that he encounters, or the thing that he encounters. He's not too sure what it is or who it is. But it looks unnerving. It's definitely not something that's human. It looks almost alien-like, like a bug of some sorts. The creature introduces himself. His name is Cell, another creation of Dr. Jiro's. 17's not sure if this revelation is good or bad. A creation of Jiro could mean that he's an ally, but it also could mean he's another enemy. Something made as a failsafe to kill the androids in case they go rogue. But this guy's an android as well, although he looks much different. 17 and 18 are based on humans, and he could tell that this guy definitely isn't like that. And Cell explains what he is. He's a bio-android, created purely from the genes of other fighters. And he actually has a nice offer for Android 17, if he wants to accept it. Cell obviously notices 17's condition, and he tells 17 that he'll die if he continues on like this. He's far too injured, and if he even tries to put up a fight with anyone, it's not going to go anywhere. Not only will his injuries hold him back, but clearly, his power will hold him back as well. Cell says that he should just join him. But it seems like there's a catch of some sorts, and 17 wonders what it is. Cell tries to explain around this, to make it easier for himself. He says that with their combined power, they could defeat Goku together. He just needs the help of 17 and 18. 17 reveals that 18 is actually dead, defeated by the fighters they just encountered. This kinda ticks Cell off to learn, but whatever, at least one of the androids is here still. That means he can at least get partially perfect. So, he asks 17 again, is he willing to join? It's pretty simple really, all he needs to do is absorb 17, and then the two of them will merge into one, growing strong enough to defeat the other fighters. But obviously, this isn't an offer that 17 would want to take. Sure, he could go along willingly, but he knows what he's going to agree to. He would agree to being absorbed by Cell, basically losing his entire free will just to become merged with him. But Cell's not going to take no for an answer. If 17 doesn't want to join willingly, he'll make 17 join by force. Although he's injured, 17's not going to give up and go down without a fight. He prepares to battle, and quickly learns that it's pretty much fruitless. Cell is too powerful for him. Even if he was at full strength and wasn't injured, he doesn't know if beating Cell is possible at all. Cell doesn't mind though. He did need to test out some of his powers a bit, even though this isn't really that good of a match. But hey, either way he was going to absorb 17, whether he agreed or not. And with this, Cell begins transforming, growing stronger and stronger as he goes into his semi-perfect form. He's still bothered by the fact that he can't absorb Android 18. Without her, he won't be able to achieve his full perfection. This should be enough, but still, it kinda irks him. Oh well, just more of a reason to kill all the other fighters. It only serves as motivation for him and more justification to kill everyone. This will make it harder to become perfect if that even is possible anymore. But still, 17's power should be more than enough for him. At his current strength, he might be able to defeat all the fighters. And who knows, maybe he'll learn something during the battles that they have. Maybe he'll get even stronger than he is now. I mean, consider his genetic makeup. This Cell is much different than the regular Cell from canon. A much stronger Cell with better genes. Cell wastes no time, and immediately starts tracking down the group. Right away, the group senses this weird power nearby. It feels like an amalgamation of everyone's energies combined. They sense Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, everyone. But there's also other people involved in that energy. Not to mention, the presence feels evil. It's definitely not good by any means. This gets them curious and anxious as well, immediately recognizing that this might be a threat. Goku and future Gohan are a bit worn out and injured after their fight, so they're gonna go visit Korn and get some senzu beans for themselves and everyone else. Vegeta tells them to go alone. He says that he, Trunks, and Piccolo will fight this threat, either stopping him or at least holding him off for the time being. They're not sure what they're about to encounter, but as he gets closer, they get a better sense of his energy. It may actually be more of a challenge than they originally thought. The monster lands in front of them, an unrecognizable green creature that they've never seen before. But Cell introduces himself, giving pretty much the same spiel that he gave to Android 17. He's another android created by Dr. Gero, and thanks to them, it was actually much easier to absorb Android 17, although they did inhibit his perfection by stopping Android 18. Killing her means that he won't be able to absorb her, and he's pretty mad about that, so he's gonna have to get revenge against them somehow. Not to mention his own desire to kill Goku. It's a double whammy, and he looks forward to killing all of them, as well as being able to test his